1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the next Girl Chat episode. We've been waiting for this.
Hello,
It's been a hot minute,
hello.
Leah.
Yes, it has.
So we thought today we would tackle, especially with the fact of the summer season coming up, spring season coming up. You know, everybody's wanting to lose weight, get in shape. So we thought we would talk about a myth that most people have, or that some people think, or you might be thinking this. I know I have at times early on in fitness, but like whatever you eat, you can burn it off. So it really doesn't matter what you put in your mouth.
Right. And everybody's heard you can't out train a bad diet, but we still somehow think that as long as I'm, moving or I'm training hard, or you know what, you even have those, especially women, you even have those weeks where when you are training really hard and your appetite goes up. So you think, I need this. And and it really is sad but true that 70 to 80% of your progress is what you put in your mouth, and it's not your training. Now there are tons of benefits to training, weight training and cardio and all that, for your health, but it comes down to our diet, and your progress really comes down to your diet. It's a huge piece of it, and that's disappointing for some to hear, but oh, so true.
It is true. And here's the thing, food can be used for a lot of things. So I think I'll just give you an example for me today. So today I had a pretty frustrating day. And there have been times when I have used food as my way of dealing with emotions or dealing with stress. Everybody has, some people and I think there's different types of stress that cause for different types of things. So like some stress, you may want to eat your feelings. Some stress, you may not want to eat at all. I think it just depends on what it is. Well, but it comes down to a decision, and it comes down to a habit, and it comes down to a choice that you make. And especially as women, I feel like I'm a highly emotional person. So if you know me, I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I can easily get worked up over things. And there have been times when I have gone to food to try to ease the pain. And so today I chose to go to the gym, and it was the best thing for me, and it was the best way to tackle that emotion. So because when you get in that space of feeling sorry for yourself and you want to just eat everything in sight because you feel like that's going to make you feel better, after it you feel worse. Like you feel
Right.
totally worse. Where today, even when we pulled up to the gym, I looked at my husband and I'm like, I don't even think I have right now I don't want to do anything. Right now I just want to sit and sulk and feel sorry for myself. Like that's how I felt. Like I just want to sit. Or maybe I'll just get on cardio and just put my beats on and I'll just walk it out, But instead I got in the gym, I got on the climb mill for a few minutes to kind of get myself revved up. And then it was like, no, I'm ready to take it freaking out. So I went over, found a slam ball, and I slammed the hell out of that ball. I did plyo jumps from the depths of my soul. And then I kicked a freaking bag. This whole time I'm making noise, which I never do. I always am stay in my corner, be quiet, nobody knows I'm around. The guy in the gym came around the corner and he goes, you're not supposed to kick that bag. You're only supposed to punch it. And I was like, listen,
Not today, buddy.
This is out of pure frustration. And so, but I fast forward to afterwards, there was such a release that came from just giving it all I had. But if I had gone the other route and decided to eat everything, then I would have felt bad after that and then wanted to beat myself up instead. So I say all that to say that food is very emotional, and we can trick ourselves into thinking that that's going to well, I deserve it because I just, I just did a 5K, or I deserve it because I just went and kicked butt in the gym. Like, so it is the truth, even though we don't always want to hear it.
Yes. That doesn't mean that you can't ever celebrate with food, or if that is your treat, or your go-to. um it's okay. There's no shame in that or judgment in that. But it's like, if you have a goal and that's what you're shooting for, it can really, always following your appetite or following your emotions, that can wreck a goal. So it's just keeping it mindful.
Yeah, feelings, I mean, emotions are real, and as women, we deal with them, and food to me is very emotional.
Hmm.
I think
Well, I
it
mean, we're trained that way from a very young age. You're rewarded with it, especially as a young child, so many times. And depending on your environment growing up, it does shape you. But that's something you can't live without. Other things you can other things you can live without. But that you can't survive without it. So it's just a part of who we are. um and it's easy to get hang-ups over it. So there is a balance. But um if you're going to progress in the way you want to, you need to pay attention to what goes in your mouth. We'll leave it at that for today.
well, and really, because like, we're just going to be honest with you. It's like, we could sugarcoat it for you. We could, like, you can make it pretty and try to be encouraging, but bottom line, it's like, it's what you choose to eat. You're an adult, you're making the decision. Like, it's just a real thing. There's no secret. There's no special, like,
Right.
I mean, we love, get it. Like Leah will tell you, we love some freaking fat burners. But at the end of the day, that's not, you know, nothing's going to
It doesn't
change
take
that.
place of nutrition.
No,
Right.
no.
Well, and I have so often, everybody wants to find a reason why it's not working, or why they're not losing weight. And we just dodge it all the time. And it's like, you know, I've started, I think because I'm older, I've started getting somewhat pretty direct. Like, you're just not in a deficit. And I don't know what to tell you, until you track your food, or until we pay attention, or we have some kind of journal of every single thing that goes in your mouth. And you have to do it forever. But it really does help to see what you're doing and what you're taking in. Because if you are taking in less than you're putting out, you are going to lose. So it's getting honest with yourself a lot of times.
Yeah.
um
And there's no,
and paying attention.
yeah.
There's no
And
magic.
there's no magic, and there's no, like, it's just truth. It's just straight up. And if you're not in that place where you're ready to track that, or you're ready to, like, really dive in and be in tune with it, it's okay. Like, don't have expectations of yourself if you're not willing to put in the work, because it is work. It is
Right.
work to food prep. It is work to freaking track it. It's work to show up with, uh like, our clients. We have accountability every week. Girl, we know
Hmm.
when things aren't happening, because either we don't get the accountability report at the end of the week like we're supposed to, or when we do and we read it and we start seeing things in that, like, that, there's so much that we can tell just by response, uh and how, and photos. Like, when we ask people for photos, it's not because, you know for any other reason other than to help you even see, because sometimes we just don't even want to see where we're at. We don't even want to, like,
Right.
we
Acknowledge it.
yeah. And but it's like, when you are in a ready place, and you'll know that when you're in a really ready place to change, or to, uh really go after something, that you'll be at a place where you'll flip that switch. And when you do, you will track, you will show up, you will follow protocol. But when you're not in that place, because maybe there's just crazy stuff in your life pulling at you, that's where you do have to give yourself grace and be okay with it, but also be okay with where you're at. Like, don't put pressure on yourself to be somewhere if you can't put in the time or the work for it.
Right. And I think a lot of times that's where like jumping on one of these food diets really does help, because it's not that the diet itself is what's doing it, it's the boundaries. It's the boundaries that the diet, and oftentimes I'll even use them for myself just to keep myself in check, because I'm not going to track. I'm not in a place to track, and I'm not in a place to pack my lunch, and I'm just not I'm not going to do it because I'm mentally not there. So I'll use a lot of those simple, whether it's intermittent fasting or if it's keto or Atkins, whatever you're doing, those are just boundaries. And they allow you to be kind of mentally gone without overstepping it.
I love that. Because I know for me, like, I know when it's time for me to, like, because I'm the same way. Like right now, it's like I haven't been ready to do any type of tracking yet. And then now I know I'm getting in that place where I'm ready for it. So I know that means my fitness pal comes out. And then
Hmm.
I know that I want to track that. And that's what keeps me in check. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I think boundaries are, if you have goals, boundaries are important. We really haven't talked about boundaries and why that's important, but it really is.
Hmm. Yeah, it really can help push you along. And only um, those tools that work for you. And if you don't, it's time to try. The only way to find out is to experiment and see what you'll follow through on and be consistent with, because ultimately it all comes down to consistency. As we've talked about several times, it's what you can be consistent with. And when you show up with all those 1% of being consistent, that's when, over the long haul, that's when you really see progress.
All of that. All of that. So, if
Mhm.
you are in a space where you are ready to make a change and you are ready to, like, I'm ready to do something, I need a plan to follow, I need accountability, then you need to reach out to us because we have this perfect setup. We have a 4 week
Yes.
challenge, right, Leah? 4 week challenge,
Hmm. Hmm.
and we have accountability.
Easy. Even if it's just to jumpstart you.
Yeah.
Listen, 4 weeks is nothing. A month flies by, and it really sets you up for success.
Absolutely. And especially with, like we were talking about, the warm months coming up, and you might be wanting to be in a, might want to be going shopping for some new summer clothes, or even a swimsuit. Like, use those kinds of things to inspire you and to push you along. And then, like we said, the challenge and the accountability, you can get that with us. And we would love to work with you because it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with our clients.
We do have fun. We want it to be a lifestyle. It's not, we're helping you learn along the way. We're not just, throwing a plan at you and leaving you alone. It's truly learning, so that you can have building blocks for the rest of your life.
And you can, take, like, figure out your boundaries. Like, that's another thing. Like,
Hmm.
working with us will help you figure that out so that you kind of know how to set yourself up.
Hmm.
But we invite you to join us. So you can go to cpmethodfit.com and check it out. Check out what we do.
This has been a nice quick one.
Yeah, I think it's one that's much needed. I think that, and don't get it twisted, just because we're in fitness doesn't mean we don't have our own challenges.
Hmm.
We're able to talk about it because it's what we love, but at the same time, we have our own challenges with it. So we get it. So this has been great. So we'll see you guys on the next episode of Girl Chat.
Bye.
1,